العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Graduates, family, friends, staff, it is my honor to welcome you to the PVS 2022 Middle School graduation ceremony. Please remain seated as the graduates will soon be entering. We'll begin the ceremony with Quran recitation from our graduating student Sarah Abu Qrayba.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور والذي أوحينا إليك من الكتاب هو الحق مصدقا لما بين يديه إن الله بعباده لخبير بصير ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا فمنهم ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله ذلك هو الفضل الكبير جنات عدن يدخلونها يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير وقالوا الحمد لله الذي أذهب عنا الحزن إن ربنا لغفور شكور الذي أحلنا دار المقامة من فضله لا يمسنا فيها نصب ولا يمسنا فيها لغوب والذين كفروا لهم نار جهنم لا يقضى عليهم فيموتوا ولا يخفف عنهم من عذابها كذلك نجزي كل كفور.
Before we begin the celebration of our students' achievements, it is extremely important that we recognize and acknowledge that we are currently on the historic homeland of the Chickasaw Nation. Memphis and all of Tennessee was a long-established territory for many indigenous peoples prior to their forced removal and unforeseen extinction. We as Muslims who have come to settle here have a responsibility to acknowledge the peoples and histories of these lands. Our ability to live here is the result of direct coercion, forced dispossession, deliberate colonization, and genocide. To ignore that is to perpetuate injustice to populations of people that no longer exist in this state, yet have established major societies elsewhere in this country. Just as we demand justice for Palestine, for Kashmir, for Eastern Turkestan, for Chechnya and the rest of the Caucasus, we need to acknowledge the injustices that took place on this land. We understand that territorial acknowledgement is only a gesture, but it represents the beginning of our commitment to justice and reconciliation. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for any injustices we have committed, to bring justice to all those throughout the world, especially on the land we are currently occupying, who have been and are currently being oppressed. We ask Allah to liberate Masjid al-Aqsa, Palestine, and all occupied peoples and territories. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless PVS and all of our students, and to make PVS a means for the success of our students in both this life and the hereafter. Today is a day that we come together to celebrate the accomplishments of an enormously successful group of students. A group of students who have, for the past 3 years, worked extremely hard, and through that hard work, have completed all the requirements of middle school and have earned the right to enter high school. It was during this class's first year in middle school that the pandemic began. Well, the pandemic was extraordinarily disruptive It has also taught us the importance of showing resilience, being adaptable, and of self-motivation. A trait that will enable you to seek out and grab every opportunity to improve yourselves, both academically and spiritually. The extraordinary resilience that you have shown in completing your studies under these circumstances, the fact that you have not only had the skills, but also the motivation to get to the point that we are now at, gives me hope that you will add tremendously to our high school class. For now, all of you should rightly feel pride and joy for what you have earned. And I can certainly say on behalf of the faculty and staff of PVS that we are immensely proud of you and your accomplishments. This year, we have 2 class valedictorians and 2 class salutatorians. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our valedictorians, Mohammed Shalla and Hamza Siddiqui, and our salutatorians, Mazen Ghanadi and Farzan Quadri.
Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I realize that the graduation ceremonies take longer than expected, so I'll try to keep this as short as possible, inshallah. On behalf of the 8th grade class of 2022, I'd like to begin to thank all of the parents, teachers, and guardians for doing everything in their power to help us get into this point. I'd also like to congratulate all of my fellow classmates on graduating. May Allah give the teachers and staff Jannah for their patience and hard work. It's a great privilege to be standing here in front of you today and give this speech. The goal at PVS is to maintain a strong Muslim identity for young Muslims. And through my experience, the teachers and staff have done that really well through their Quran and Islamic studies classes and their competitions. I've only finished middle school, and I'm not qualified to give advice, but I do have some words of encouragement. One thing we should all do moving forward is to set high goals in the dunya and the akhirah, and not to go for the bare minimum. Another thing that we should keep in mind is to always maintain a strong relationship with Allah and a balance between school and deen. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. صدق الله العظيم. Thus we have made you a justly balanced community, that you will be witnesses over the people, and the messenger will be a witness over you. Throughout the years in PVS, there have been many good memories shared with one another, and I'm sad to see many of my classmates leave. May Allah guide and help them wherever they go. These past couple of years, there have been many challenges that I had to overcome, like recovering from an average of 8% in science and studying for Ms. Farhana's test. But the environment that I've been in at PVS is truly an amazing experience throughout my life, and I plan on staying here until next graduation. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana li hada wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I begin by thanking Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, for bringing us together today to celebrate our great accomplishments and for all the blessings that we have. Next, I thank my parents who put so much hard work into raising me and my siblings and will always push us to work harder. I also want to appreciate our teachers and our principal, Dr. Mali, for their time, effort, and dedication to PVS students, and to whom we will always be indebted. PVS has been more than just our school. It has been our second home over the past few years and has helped us learn, grow, and build strong Islamic identities in a safe, positive learning environment. Despite not having the resources of larger schools, PVS repeatedly outshines its competitors in academics and sports. This is because of the efforts of the PVS students and teachers, who put in a great deal of time and dedication to ensure that students reach their full potential and achieve success. Inshallah, I pray that Allah will continue to bless this institution and all who are associated with it. I am also extremely grateful to my fellow graduates. We are constantly encouraging each other to work harder in sports and in academics, and also to better ourselves in our religion values and views. Something I like to share with y'all is a saying my dad always tells me. He says, if you think you can do it, you're right, but if you think you can't do it, you're still right. If you want to reach greatness in life, you have to believe in yourself, and that you have the ability to reach your goal. Having a growth mindset is a pivotal ingredient to success, and embracing this mindset is a skill you must learn. In addition to having a growth mindset, you must also make dua to Allah to succeed. If you do not pray to Allah for success, you won't go very far in life. And if you only make dua and don't put any hard work in, you won't go very far either. You have to do both parts if you wish for success. I'd like to narrate the story from the seerah of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. When a tripod took place, visited him in Medina from Bahrain. They were so excited to meet the Prophet ﷺ that they forgot to tie their camels down, and only one of their delegation tied his camel down. The delegation lost their animals because they ran away while they were meeting the Prophet. However, the Prophet praised the Sahabi who tied his camel down as having some of the defining characteristics of a man, and praised him for putting his trust in Allah only after doing his part. I'd like to conclude my speech with this. PVS brings all our cultures and backgrounds together because we all share one identity as Muslims. However, as Muslims, we are a minority in society at large. We live in the United States, where freedom of religion is in the First Amendment. However, we represent the Muslim Ummah as a whole as well. Our actions, words, and interactions with others dictate how others view us as Muslims. We represent our deen, our faith, our values, and our ummah. The media, extremists, and ignorant people have left a terrible impression on Muslims in the eyes of non-Muslims. To change people's inaccurate views of Islam, we have to work a lot harder to fight for truth and justice. Because for many of the non-Muslims we meet, we may be the only Muslims they know. As Muslims, our values show through our interactions and actions. As they say, having good manners is the best form of da'wah. Representing Islam in our daily interactions, remembering Allah, and incorporating the actions of His Messenger is the key to showing non-Muslims the true values of Islam. Today is a celebration. We've finished the year, alhamdulillah, 1 year older and hopefully smarter. We can spend our summer days enjoying our video games and free time without worrying about the science test next Thursday. However, we shouldn't forget about the daily wishes of Allah. Congratulations to all my classmates. Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. First and foremost, I want to start off today by thanking and welcoming everyone who's joined us in the crowd, and by saying congratulations to the graduating class of 2022. We all had our ups and downs this year, but we managed to get through, and believe it or not, we did it. We made it all the way through middle school, and made great memories out of it. To say the least, this year's been a blast. We all learned a bunch of new things, we had tons of fun, and whether it was the basketball games, both field days, the cookouts with Mr. Clark, we all had things to enjoy. But now we're moving on to high school, and there are changes to be made. Changes that we may fear, but we can't stop from coming. And as we change, we can make big impacts on things. And if you think you're too small to make a change, I'm pretty sure you've never been to bed with a mosquito under your cover. I'm not sure many people realize it, but it's an absolute true blessing for us to be in PVS. We're in a Muslim environment, taught Islamic fiqh and etiquette. We have Muslim friends, we attend every Jummah khutbah. The list goes on and on. And another thing we don't realize is that we're the ones who shape the school, and we have been for the last 25 years. Because I don't know about you, but I consider PVS to be my second home. It's important to understand that everything that happened to us really happened because of us. Now, of course, we owe our thanks to Allah, but we can't forget to thank those who helped us on this journey. So thank you to our teachers who taught us, who helped us and shaped our knowledge. Thank you to the staff and faculty who helped run the school and make it the way it is. Thank you to our peers for helping us throughout the year. Thank you to our friends who had our backs, who supported us, and who were there for us when we needed them. And thank you to our parents who put us in the school, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. And last but definitely not least, thank you to Dr. Mali, because I think it's safe to say that without him, the school just simply wouldn't be the same.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما وعلمنا وفقنا بالدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Good evening. Welcome to all the parents and families who have accompanied the graduation of 2022 ceremony today. Inshallah, in this speech, I will explain and share the story of my journey through middle school. If you did not know, our grade was the only grade in the entire school to be impacted by COVID in all 3 grades of middle school. 6th grade. It was a new transition for us. New teachers, new environment, more projects, even our lunchtime changed. Half the class sounded like frogs now. Even in 5th grade, we used to be the biggest kids around. Now, even for days seem puny. Like I said before, it was a new transition for us. We had to walk to all of our classes, which seemed like a burden at first. But later it came to me that this was a good thing. It helped me be more aware of time, it helped me be more organized, and it made it easier for the already hardworking teachers. At first, I thought middle school would be very serious and rigorous, and I did not know that I would start to enjoy it. Unfortunately, in spring break, we were in Aspen, and we got the news that COVID struck Memphis, and we were all supposed to be at home, quarantining. We had online school. Other than being able to sleep and play games in the middle of class, there weren't any real advantages. Soon, after it started, the year ended, with nobody knowing what's going to happen in the year ahead. 7th grade. This year, by far, was the most unique year for everyone in the school. It was an extension from the past year. Online school was a prominent method of learning. This year was unique, since it made me learn self-control like never before. It was very easy to look up answers on a math test or eat breakfast in Brother Omar's class. It also taught me patience, as there would be occasional Wi-Fi outages and Go-Guarding would block nonsensical stuff, and then Chromebooks being slow in general. I also grew more independent, as there was less human interaction in these classes. All these difficulties helped me gain a more serious mindset, and without online school, I probably would not have gained these skills. 8th grade. This was another transition year, switching from online to in-person school. We all wore masks, making interaction difficult, as the mask covered the mouth, making the speech of the teacher hard to understand. And to be honest, with these masks, I forgot what half the class looked like. This hasn't been only the hardest year, as we had countless project, competition, homework, and Mr. Clark assignments, but it was also the best year, as we were finally with our friends again, and classmates again. Some of our classmates won first place in the entire country in the You Be the Tennis Challenge. The Tennessee History Day was a blast too, as classmates won first in that as well. And now, here we are today. Today, we are finally done with middle school. Together we'll enter high school next fall, and nobody said it was going to be easy. But I know we can all handle it. Inshallah, I want to end the speech with some thanks. I give my thanks first and foremost to Allah, the most merciful, and then to my parents, who worked extra hard during the COVID time to make school easy for me. They stayed up till 2 a.m. along with me so I can finish my project. I made snacks for us all day long. Then to my grandparents, who gave me advice that just helped me stay through the journey. Then to my teachers. Then to my teachers, who smoothly transitioned through in-person and online and in-person and online between teaching methods to make sure our learning was not hampered by the COVID challenge. And how could I forget my prankster brothers that make quarantine a bit entertaining for me. And lastly, we, the graduating 8th grade class of 2022, would like to thank Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft, and Discord for motivating us and get our assignments done on time. Thank you all, and see you in high school.
Thank all the speakers for the wonderful speeches. We will now confer the diplomas on our graduating students. Abdurrahman Abdeen. Fatima Abdul Hafiz. Ali Abdi, Yahya Ali, Masa Al-Muezzin, Muhammad Al-Tawil, Izzadeen Awad, Rukaya Baruch, Layali Benfrey, Abtahi Bono, Haris Shohan, Ahmed Faqih, Maimuna Faqih, Mazen Ghanidi, Habib Habib, Saif Haji, Isa Hashmi, Rafan Howlander, Muhammad Madarati, Muhammad Mahzoum, Ahmed Mohammed, Rukaya Najdawi, Hawa Usman, Ibrahim Osman, Ragad Uzrael, Farzan Qadri, Hania Rahman, Yasin Rashad, Hamza Salamat, Muhammad Sa, Muhammad Shala, Nadeem Sharif, Hamza Siddiqui, Khadija Yusuf, Tanir Yusuf. We will now end our ceremony with a closing dua from Ahmed Muhammad.
Bismillah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. اللهم لك الحمد أنت نور السماوات والأرض ومن فيها. ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إني أستغفرك بذنبي وأسألك رحمتك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. آمين. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من منكرات الأخلاق والأعمال والأهواء. آمين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. اللهم اجعلنا مفلحين. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.